Hello, this is Dr. Nash, and I just want to say that it's really an amazing opportunity to be able to go through the OU, University of Oklahoma online libraries, and I wanted to show you how to use them. There have been a few changes, so if you're used to using the online libraries in the past, you might be a little bit mystified about what's going on. So anyway, let's just get started. So the URL for the OU online libraries is libraries.ou.edu. And the first thing you do when you get there is you can say, okay, I'm going to go and just use Discover. Well, that's probably seems to be like the most obvious thing to do, but it's really not the best. The best first thing to do is to log in. So let's click here, log in. It's in the middle of the screen. So depending on the size of your view, you may need to scroll down. That's definitely happened to me. Depends on if you're on a tablet or your phone, or as I am on my laptop. Okay, so I'm clicking on login. Then you get to the login page. So log in here, the screen logs me in. Okay, so if you want to log out for any reason, you do that. Now, what happens if you decide you're just going to find a book or something on, or let's find something on, let's say, I'm very interested in the poem Sergei Yesenin. So let's see, Sergei Yesenin. And let's just say life. Okay, so what we get we'll have all different kinds of links like book, article, etc. Now, that's not necessarily all that helpful because you may not be on online campus, so you may not have a chance to go and check this out. And also, it's not, here we have full text available, peer-reviewed, but where? We can click on it, but once we click, we just get into this thing of like, well, it takes you here, sign in, DOAG, directory of direct online open access journals. And is that necessarily, and then you have to sign in. So it just gets you in an area that is, I really, really don't think is the best way to go about it. So what I'd recommend doing is just going back and going back to the home page, and then do something that's not necessarily obvious. And it's like one of these things that if you don't know where to go, you don't know about it. So you could click on resources and you'll have journals, articles, etc. But that's also quite slow. So what I would recommend is just going back, going to the library homepage, scrolling down, and we get to databases and e-references. This is where you really want to be. So click on databases and e-reference materials. Now I'm just going to go through 3 different databases, which I think you'll find extremely useful. The first one is EBSCO. So let's click on E because EBSCO starts with E. We scroll down and we find EBSCO. We go to the EBSCO collection. And let's just pick a different topic. Let's pick athletes' mental health. Let's just see what comes up. So notice that you might say you want something more recent than just, and you want to make sure it's peer-reviewed instead of just typing access mental health. But notice all sorts of articles come up. And this one is in the International Journal of Medicine and Science and Physical Activity in Sports. And it's from August 2024, nice and recent. Now, let's look at the details. We can download the article. We can also cite it. So if you're worried about your ability to cite sources correctly, notice that you can go and click on this open quotation and click on cite. And if you have to use the APA style, then just click on APA style, and then here's your reference. So you can just copy, or you can highlight it, and you can copy to the clipboard, but I would just highlight and copy. And then you can open up, what I recommend is either a Word document or either Notepad, and just copy and paste into that. And then remember, if APA, just it's in alphabetical order. So it's incredibly useful. Now, let's say that you want to make sure that your articles are only like the last 5 years or something like that. You can always do a new search, but then also you can filter it. So notice when you scroll down, you've got filters, and you can have full text, so you get the whole article. And then you can just do the past 5 years. And then go by that. Okay, so that's where we are with EBSCO. Now let's go back to the University of Oklahoma Libraries, and let's say, instead of going to my EBSCO, let's move up here and go back. This is a little challenging because, okay, let's just go to my dashboard. I don't know why this is not working. Well, let's just go back to libraries.ou.edu. What's happening is the thing I'm using, the screen pal, is covering up the things I need to be able to click on. Okay, so let's just go. We went back to University Libraries. We're still logged in. We scroll down, and let's go to ProQuest. The reason I like ProQuest is because you have access to dissertations. So let's go to ProQuest, click on P, and we have to go down a few times to find ProQuest. I think it's on the 3rd tab in P's. So you can tell I use this a lot, literally. Here we go, ProQuest. Okay, now let's just use the same prompt for fun of it. But before we go to do that, let's click on full text, peer reviewed, publication dates. Let's just say last 3 years, just to see what happens. And let's use athletes, mental health. Notice we can also do athletes and mental health, but let's just, since we use the same, let's use the same search terms just to see if we get any different results. And we click on this, click search, take some time. It's searching. It's thinking. Okay, check it out. Ok, so exploración del impacto de la identidad social y la dinámica de equipo en comportamiento y búsqueda de ayuda en materia de salud mental entre atletas universitarios, un estudio cualitativo. Okay, so here's the thing. This is from Madrid, and you can get the full text. And also, if you really like it and your Spanish is not as good as you'd like it to be, you can always translate it. Won't be perfect, but, and then let's say, well, you don't really want that one. Let's say supporting mental health of post-secondary student athletes from literature for Canadian context. Okay, 2024, nice. But let's say we want to use US examples. So here's something from collegiate athlete mental health, comparing treatment-seeking student athletes and non-athletes on service utilization. These are all good. You may want to narrow them down to even say something like college football, athlete mental health. Just how about college football player mental health? And then we have something like longitudinal prospective study of head impacts in male high school football players. We have what is the prevalence of general anxiety and depression in football players? Okay, so let's just say college football athletes, US. Okay, now we'll see what we get. So we notice okay. So we're getting the same ones, notice. And here we even have the one from Madrid. So an institutional examination of U.S. adults' willingness, qualitative. So they're talking about neurological. Why don't we just say athletes, anxiety, and depression. Prospective cohort study of long-term neurological outcomes in retired elite athletes. So as you see, you have to keep on going. Affective comorbidity or concussion. Can we tell the difference? So I just think that here's something in psychological well-being from sports injuries in adolescence, a narrative review. This is 2024. And let's just click on this one and see how it looks. Okay, we've got the abstract, full text. We want PDF. Now, how do we cite it? Let's click on Cite. And here we have the citation. So you can copy and paste this. Copy it that way too. If you're using RefWorks or any of those things, or EndNote, you can use those too. I don't necessarily use those. I just use good old copy and paste. Okay. So then we can get the full text. So we can download the PDF. And there you go. And it even has, wow, tables, etc. So I just wanted to give you an idea. Now, just a very brief look at get back to results. Let's go back to libraries, the home page. Let's scroll down. And the last one I want to show you is JSTOR. Okay, let's go to J. And here's JSTOR. We click on it. And just for the heck of it, let's just say use the same search terms. We have to say OK. U.S. college football athlete, anxiety, and depression. Okay, so let's just hit enter. And notice we get completely different results, even with the same keywords. So we have regulation, recovery, and resilience. Notice it is a book chapter. Now I didn't say articles only or peer-reviewed, and I also didn't say last 3 years. So we get something that's like from 2016. But it looks pretty good. Sport, a biological, philosophical, and cultural perspective, Columbia University Press. So why don't we just take a look at that? And we've got the table of contents, etc. It's chapter 5. You can download it. Looks really good to me. Okay, so we can download it. We can also cite it. So notice you can go scroll down and here's APA. Now I just wanted to show this to you because it's a cautionary tale. In APA, do we use all caps? The answer is no. So anyway, and also in chapters and also the articles, we don't capitalize every word or every letter. So this part needs to be changed. So I just want to say, be careful when you're using these shortcuts because they're a good shortcut, but they're not perfect. Okay, so finally, let's go back to libraries. And let's go to Google Scholar. Well, notice here we have Google Scholar, and what's the difference between using Google Scholar in your online versus just using Google? The difference is we actually have access to articles that you might not have if you're just online. But you can do all kinds of research, etc. So let's click on online access. Here we go, Google Scholar, and you can use your name, you can use whatever. So it's kind of fun. Sometimes I type in my own name to see how many articles are showing up in Google Scholar versus other things, but I won't do that here. So let's just say U.S. college football athletes, depression, and anxiety. And notice here, since you're logged into OU, it will show when you have an article, you can access it through the university. So anyway, all different kinds of opportunities. And if you're using Google Books or whatever, sometimes people do that and they'll just click on, and they say, oh, I have the book. And that's really not enough. Let's click on this. Okay. So you can get the full article, citations. That's not the citation, but this is the citations where it's cited. So we can even go to the journal homepage. So all kinds of useful things. And as a final thing, I want to show you Google Books. Now, if you go to Google Books, you'll think, this is great. Let's just put in the same, let's just say college football athlete mental health. Okay, so here we have modern health in the athlete, modern perspectives, and novel something or other. So let's click on it. And it will take you to this interesting image. But what we need to make sure that we do not do, what some people do, so you can look at it, get the book, probably won't have the full edition, but at any rate, and you can create a citation. Notice here, so this is the key, is to go to the citation. Some people, when they go to Google Books, what happens is they just simply click the link Google Books, but you really have to create a citation. Otherwise, it's kind of meaningless. You can just even click copy there. So anyway, well, just to go back to the libraries, I'm just going to go back here. And this has been a kind of an exhaustive exhaustive tour, and it's not obviously it's not all the databases, but this is opening up a whole world for you, and I'm just thrilled to be able to be your guide. So thank you. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me, and it's a thrill to work with you and go on this journey of exploration and discovery. Thank you.